Yo, thank you guys for joining in for this episode of Fireside Talks. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it applies to you. I hope it blesses you. Remember to sit back, relax, and enjoy as we talk and discuss about anything and everything that comes to mind.
Yo, what is up, you guys? Coming at you with another episode of Fireside Talks. Last episode we got talking about conviction versus condemnation, knowing the difference, understanding others' correction towards us or other corrections that we have towards others, and using discernment in understanding that difference. For this episode, I want to go ahead and talk about a subject that I feel hits home with a lot of people, and that is trials. Trials is something that every single one of us has ever faced or will face in the future. And understanding also that not every day will be a blessing. You will have times in your life where those trials will feel like they are all too present. There's actually a few examples in the Bible there's a lot of examples in the Bible of people going through trials. These are just a few of them that I have found. You know, King David in the Old Testament with King Saul, back to when he was just a little shepherd boy looking over the sheep, and all the way to when he became king and always wanting to have to kill him. Which I think that was because of jealousy that King Saul had of David, when the people said, King Saul has killed his thousands, but David has killed his 10,000s. Other ones like that are like Noah. You know, Noah was looked at as crazy from the people, from his neighbors. The people of the town didn't really think highly of him because of what he was doing. God told him to make a boat in the desert. Say it again. A boat in the desert. Think about that for a second. That would be kind of hard for us, too, to understand. If we were in the middle of Benson, Arizona, in the middle of summer, where it's 110 degrees, and all of a sudden we had the urge to say, well, I think that it's going to rain a lot to where it's going to flood. And then you go with it, and you build the boat. Of course, to everybody around you, they're going to think you're crazy. But despite all of that, Noah went through with building this ark, with building this boat, which in turn, at the end, we know the flood came, and Noah and his family and all the animals were protected and were safe. And of course, at the end, God said, I am not going to flood the entire earth ever again. And at the end, he symbolized that with the rainbow, and showing Noah that he will never ever do this again, where he floods the entire earth. Another example is Daniel. Daniel was set in a place that he did not understand, with people he did not know, with a culture that he didn't agree with gods that were not, God. The one true God. And it was a trial for him because he was set in this culture, and he was forced to have to learn how to relive life. He was given a different name, which that name gave him a different identity, and in turn was made to completely turn him 180 degrees. But Daniel, standing his ground, he said, no, I'm not doing this. And he prayed to God 3 times a day. And the king heard about this, threw him in the lion's den. Of course, we know the story. Some of us know the story of how Daniel was saved from these lions. God kept the lion's mouth closed, and then King came back and took him out, and the story goes on. Another really good one is Jesus in all of the synoptic gospels, talking about the Pharisees and the Sadducees coming against him, and all the trials with the people, and the major trial of him having to go to Golgotha and to give his life for the sins of the world. But a few verses that I found kind of help with getting through the trials and helping you develop a different perspective while going through the trials. The first one was Romans chapter 12, verse 12. And it says, if you watch my YouTube videos, you'll get the reference. Fireside Talks prayers. Go check it out. Yeah, thanks. So Romans chapter 12, verse 12, and I have my Bible here. Rejoice in our confident hope, and be patient in trouble, and keep on praying. Another one was John chapter 16, verses 33. And it says, okay, I promise I won't do that for everyone. I have told you all of this so that you may have peace in me. Here on earth you will have many trials and sorrows. But take heart, because I have overcome the world. And with those two verses, there's a lot of other ones that are exactly the same heart that will help you in your walk, in your day-to-day life, and in your trials, and in your tribulations. So to ask you personally, if you were to think about one trial or trials that you can think of that you're going through right now, what would they be? And how has this or these trials affected you mentally? And again, to beg the question, what are some mental habits? And again, to beg the question, what are some mental habits you have developed that keep you from asking for help? And what are some of the walls that are being needed to break down in your life that you have built because of these trials? And I really like this point that I had from this from my last episode, conviction versus condemnation, which you can check out my link tree, linktr.ee/fireside talks. I'll put it down below so you can check it out and check out the last episode. But focus, peace, perspective, and change. Focus brings about peace because now you are focused on one thing, except for 5 million different other things pulling you every single which way. And that peace brings out a brand new perspective of the world around you. And that perspective changes you to a whole new person, the person that you have always dreamed of being, that you wanted to be, that you've strived of being, but because of the trials, because of your past, because of the reject, you have it has become fogged within your mind as to, I can't ever obtain that individual. That would be me. And starting with our first one, focus. Drive your focus towards your potential of healing. Philippians 4:8. And now, dear brothers and sisters, one last thing. Fix your thoughts on what is true, honorable, right, pure, lovely, and admirable, that are excellent and worthy of praise. And in peace, find people and habits to help calm yourself and help find your peace. Philippians 4:7. So, up a verse. Then you will experience God's peace, which exceeds anything that you can understand. His peace will guard your hearts and minds as you live in Christ Jesus. And in perspective, this will come with your change of Peace. Don't copy the behaviors and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know which is good and pleasing and perfect. But all in all, guys, better understanding our trials and better understanding how to get through our trials will ultimately give you the peace that surpasses all understanding, that peace that God gives, and that peace that we all long for. But thank you guys again for tuning in this episode of Fireside Talks. Remember, you can check out my link tree. I'll put it down below for you guys. It has my Spotify, my episodes. It has my Facebook, my Instagram. You can check out my TikTok. I do fun, awesome little videos there. Of course, my YouTube, Morning Prayer for You, where I give you a verse of the day and a morning prayer in the morning to get you guys going, blood pumping, and all that fun stuff. But go check it out. Go click the link. Go visit. Go support Fireside Talks. It'd be super appreciative of it. Go like, share, and comment. But I love you guys. You guys have an amazing day. Remember, you're children of God, fearfully and wonderfully made. I love you guys. Peace out.
Yo, thank you guys again for tuning into this episode of Fireside Talks. I hope you guys were blessed. I hope you guys were encouraged. I hope you guys can apply a lot to what this episode was talking about. But remember to sit back, relax, and enjoy as we talk and discuss about anything and everything that comes to mind.